There is a tried and true YouTube growth tactic that has been around for a very long time, but not nearly enough creators like myself talk about it, and not nearly enough creators like you put it to use. So today we're going to talk about the concept of niche expansion, and we have a ton of examples for you from a bunch of different channels across all sorts of niches on YouTube. First, before we get into those examples, let's establish what niche expansion looks like. At the risk of oversimplifying this, let's just break this down with a metaphor. Let's say you are a chef and you have a world-renowned restaurant, and the reason you are world-renowned in this particular category is because you have a specific type of pasta, one that you have spent years crafting to be unique to only you. Word has spread across the land of your magnificent pasta recipe, and people come far and wide to try your delicious food. The only problem is your one restaurant is in kind of a small town. Far and wide doesn't actually extend that far or that wide, and the people who know your restaurant and love it for what it is tend to be the only people who show up. What niche expansion would be in this example is you deciding to maybe experiment with some other ingredients. You already have the base, you already have this unique pasta. Now it's time to go to the store and try some new ingredients, bring them back to the restaurant and start testing new menu items. The point is, we don't want you to stop doing what you're already good at. We want you to expand and build upon the foundation that you've created with your YouTube channel. I have 6 different channels to show you, and we're going to start with FriendGen Engineering. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. They currently have almost 70,000 subscribers with only 38 videos. Going back to their earliest videos, we see that they were focused on these RC snow plows, and we can see that things started out a bit slow. They changed their title and or thumbnail a bunch of times at the beginning of this video's life, and eventually it did pick up and it got itself a healthy amount of views before kind of growing a bit slow from there. By the way, this card on the right here is one of our free tools if you install our plugin in your browser. The link is down below. Just want to point that out. Insane DIY RC snowplow built with basic tools and no welding experience. Already, we're seeing a pretty niche video right here. So not only is it for people who experience a lot of snow in their area, it's people who have so much snow that they feel like a device like this would help them. And it even says no welding experience, which kind of implies that you will have to build something. So you need to be the kind of person at least interested in looking at a device, a contraption like this, or if not interested in making one. After a little while, when they make their 4th video, I made the ultimate heated cat shelter. Interestingly, this video didn't do much until about here, where it completely explodes. And what typically happens around October-ish if you're in the Northern Hemisphere? Well, it gets a bit colder. And then we stop at a video from 9 months ago, an 83x outlier with 337,000 views, transforming a $5,000 boat into a $15,000 yacht. Now, keep in mind, these really interesting contraptions that they're building aren't doing bad for a new creator, but when they broke out of this again and used their DIY skills to make something else, it once again appealed to a much wider audience. And if you think that's impressive, let's scroll up just a little bit more to the real inflection point of this channel. I bought a mini excavator from China and this arrived. 4.4 million views uploaded 3 months ago. What it is somebody with this DIY skill set sharing an experience that they had, and they decided to tell a story. This channel is continuing to try new things and expand beyond their original niche. I would say FriendGen's journey is certainly not over, and it's definitely not a straight line from one niche to their expanded niche. They're to this day still trying different things to see what's going to work for them and what's not. Props to this channel. They're going to hit 100K very, very soon. And we're going to look at another example now of a channel that's doing a more straightforward version of niche expansion. Killdozer TV, who is at almost 700,000 subscribers with 748 videos. As of about a year ago, Killdozer's channel looked like this. A lot of focus on opening CSGO loot boxes. They had their core niche, they were getting thousands of views. How did they go from this to what we see today? It all started about right up here. 100 cases, 100 Chick-fil-A nuggets. We can already see the change here from 2,500 views to 2,700 views to 7.5K views. If you're Killdozer at this point, you know you're onto something. And so the next video is 100 cases, 100 pizza rolls, 10 seltzers, CS2 case opening. Essentially, this is Killdozer taking a very popular activity of opening CSGO loot boxes and then combining it with drinking seltzer and eating pizza rolls. And that was one of the last loot box opening videos that Killdozer did before starting to pivot into more or less doing food challenges. And then we get right here where the channel starts to take on the form that we know it for today. The Dollar Tree Diet got 2.7 million views, followed by the Marshall's Diet, which is also at 2.7 million views. Scroll Scrolling up, you have the Red 40 diet at 2.5 million views, and more food content consistently pulling in outlier after outlier. What Killdozer did is what a lot of creators do. He entered a pretty competitive niche, and he tried to eventually implement twists to make himself stand out a bit more. It turned out those twists ended up continuing to twist until the channel completely spun around, and now CSGO loot boxes are nowhere to be seen. But in case you're looking at that example and going, that is like way too beyond what I'm looking to do, I want to take my niche and expand it just a little bit, I'm going to show you another example. I've shared this one in the past, but it's one of my favorites. This is Idle, and he has 87,000 subscribers and 129 videos. Now for Idle, things started out in the RuneScape niche, and what Idle was doing was playing RuneScape, using different types of challenge formats to create serial content. And eventually, he moved on to making mods that other people could use for their own RuneScape playthroughs. One video that did particularly well for him at the time was I created the deadliest RuneLite plugin ever. Basically, you play RuneScape and you are being hunted by a snail. If the snail touches you, you die and you lose all of your progress. It was videos like this that put Idle on the map, because now not only was he participating in different challenges that the community was also doing, he was becoming the person creating the challenges because he used his unique skills with programming to actually make something for the community that they could use. Idle continued making gameplay content more or less for RuneScape until about here, where he starts to experiment with more commentary style videos, such as the forgotten RuneLite plugins nobody uses, or Jagex's big idea to save old school RuneScape. Around this time, he hits another outlier, Agility Shortcuts, RuneScape's biggest lie, with almost 200,000 views. Suddenly, Idle isn't doing as much playing RuneScape as he is talking about it, at least on his YouTube channel, because then he releases RuneScape has a minigame problem, and just a few videos later, things really take off. When he makes the video, I tried every popular MMO, it did not go well. This is an 8.4x outlier for Idle's channel. Ever since this video, he has been consistently making video essays about RuneScape, about World of Warcraft, about MMOs. He is now the self-proclaimed president of MMORPGs, and he plays it very, very well. And it all started with that that foundation of content, using his unique brand of humor and different skill sets to make cool things for the RuneScape community and eventually speak more broadly about MMOs in general. The next channel we're looking at, though, gets away from the gaming niche now, and we are going to get into some territory that I myself don't really explore on YouTube. This is Nightmare Movies. They have almost 200,000 subscribers and just 54 videos. With only 54 videos, it's easy to scroll down and find the beginning of their journey 4 years ago. At this time, Nightmare Movies is doing incredibly niche videos on incredibly niche pieces of content in the horror genre. Their first really big outlier happened just up here. It was again 4 years ago at 360,000 views. If we scroll up just a little bit, you'll notice all of a sudden there is a hiatus that takes place around right here. And after just a couple of videos back on YouTube after that break, it didn't take long for them to hit their next huge outlier video. At 437,000 views as of today, it's the scariest mockumentary I've ever seen. This is still horror content, but you can tell that an effort is being made here to make sure that it's a lot more mainstream than some of the more niche films we were looking at just a few years ago. In just 1 year, from February 2025, where they were at 6,740 subscribers, we get to February of 2026, where they are at 190,000 subscribers. And again, Nightmare Movies is a great example of what niche expansion looks like, going from really unknown horror films to covering much broader topics in the horror movie niche. Channel kind of scares me though, so we're gonna move on. Let's take a look at Roots in the Wild. 93,000 subscribers right now with 145 videos. Back when they were just getting started on YouTube, it was van life and travel vlogs, and I'm sure you've seen channels like this in the past. Upon this video's release, it was no slouch. It was getting thousands of views, and as the months went on, it stayed at a pretty consistent growth rate until more recently, where it kind of hit an even more noticeable stride. So yeah, in the early days, we see a young van life couple kind of leaving their life behind and setting out on this journey, but we don't get to the really big pivotal shift on the channel until we scroll up just a little bit more, and we find a video from 9 months ago with 32,000 views called We Sold Our Van. But just a little while later, the next video is called Starting My Solo Female Van Life Journey. It has 24,000 views as of today. In this video, she explains she's still with her partner, but she has decided to start a solo journey as a van lifer. But it doesn't stop there, because because on top of buying a new van, we start to see some different types of videos also get onto the channel, such as living simply in a garden shed. That was an 11x outlier with 123,000 views. This video represents the first time the channel made a truly adjacent piece of content to the van life content we've been so used to seeing from them before. You'll notice that out of the gate, this new style of content for them in just less than a month was already performing well above average for the channel and eventually hit 100,000 views in just a couple of short months. When I was watching van life channels, I was personally always more interested in the lifestyle and the van itself, like what these people were living in. I always thought it was really cool and fascinating. I think Roots in the Wild has picked up on that too, because being able to go from van life to tiny homes isn't like a big leap. I still feel like that's a very interesting way to live, and it makes sense why suddenly we're seeing such major outliers on the channel when they pivoted away from what they were doing that worked so well for them already, which was the van life content. The next example I have for you is kind of similar to the channel we just looked at. They're called Scout Outdoors. They have almost 500,000 subscribers with 162 videos. Basically, the growth trajectory here went from more bushcraft style videos, outdoor survival, things like that, to a pretty simple pivot where they made a video called "I Bought an Abandoned House on a Remote Island 6 months in." This video has 11 million views. It's from 11 months ago and is a 26x outlier. Now, as you can imagine, going from doing probably a lot more traveling and being in a lot of remote locations to settling down with one single property is probably really intimidating for a channel that is relying on people to watch their videos based on the fact that they can survive in all these different environments. So why did this major risk for their YouTube content work so well, other than it kind of had to, because it seems like they were ready to settle down into a more established dwelling? Well, as you can see, the house is kind of in shambles. It is in no condition to live in at all, and I can't think of anyone more qualified to fix it up than somebody who's out in the woods building buildings from scratch. But as a new viewer to this channel, I can already sense that I'm probably coming along for a pretty interesting ride here, because if I watch this channel long enough, there's a chance that I will get to see this house, which is in complete shambles, turn into something that's actually livable. I think the bottom line when it comes to niche expanding is that it's all a risk. Everything you do on YouTube, every video you post is kind of a risk. You risk spending a lot of time making something for it to get no views. What you're essentially doing with niche expansion is you are becoming the niche. You're taking all of your unique skill sets and interests, and you are just using them in new ways. You are broadening your horizon and broadening the scope of your channel along the way. But the one thing these channels all had in common that's important to recognize is that all of them, from a very early time in their YouTube journey, showed that they knew the fundamentals of what it took to get videos seen in the first place, which is why we make videos like this one, because having those fundamentals is how you can eventually expand your niche to be a bit more broad and to be something that could one day become an awesome hobby or a lucrative career for you and your family. So best of luck to you. Watch this video next, and goodbye.